So what I usually like is I like to keep 2 rolls of tape, and I find that because my hands aren't very big and my fingers aren't very big, I can get away with using 1/3 the width of my tape roll. Most people will be able to do it unless you're a little tiny kid where you'll probably need quarters, but they'll work just fine. And first of all, taping joints, right? I know a lot of people like to just take those strips, take the strip out, rip out a really long strip like so, really long strip, tear it, and then tear it again down the center. So we have these, and then all they do is they take it and then they kind of wrap it around their joint where it hurts, like a tourniquet. So I'm just gonna do it around my middle finger, right? So like so. Perfect. And you just keep ripping it and you keep turning it like a tourniquet. The problem with this is the whole point of tape is to stabilize the joint, right? If I'm wrapping tape here and wrapping tape here and wrapping tape here, it really does nothing to my joint because it doesn't stabilize it whatsoever. I just have a really tight something wrapped around it. I might as well just go buy some rubber bands and then do the same thing. You're just cutting off circulation and you're numbing it because you're compressing the nerve. So what you should do to stabilize the joint is you actually need to have some tape that crosses the joint, but also at the same time it doesn't hinder our mobility, so my hand can still open and close, but it doesn't stop stuff from twisting and turning and folding from side to side where the danger is, because fingers are designed to move like this. They're just not designed to twist, and that's where the injuries come in, when people crimp stuff or grab stuff really hard and try to pull off of it, and then the finger turns in a motion against the joint. So the very basic, most basic climbing, well, taping job on your joint is what's called a figure 8, right? And you figure 8 over where it's going to move. So if I'm going to close my hand here, right, that means that my joint, my cross, needs to be over here. So I'm actually, for the ease of explaining, I'm actually going to use a pen, right? And I'm going to say, okay, what I'm going to do is I want it to cross my joint like so. Alright? And then it will fold around to the other side and we'll bring it around, right? And then the tape will come around like so, and in essence we end up with tape that resembles a figure 8, right? And so what we'll do is you want to have the tape on the sides here to limit the motion backwards so that my fingers can't flex backwards, because everybody knows crimping is bad, especially full crimping, right? Your joint doesn't want to fold backwards, so we're going to let you climb, but we're not going to let you fold backwards. So what we'll do is, again, take the same strip of tape, right, and then just follow those dotted lines, right? That's one way to practice. Just make sure you're slightly bent, right, fingers slightly bent, and I will start on one side, right, like so, and then I'm just gonna start gently wrapping it while my finger is still bent, because the tape will hold it in that position. So I'm just gonna wrap it around, keep following that figure 8, right? Don't cinch it in super tight. If your finger is bent like so, all you gotta do is gently wrap it, right? And then we're gonna keep following this figure 8 and making sure our finger is still bent. Alright, once we've gone once in this direction, this one, I started here and I went in this direction. So with the second strip of tape, I am going to turn it around and I'm going to start on the other side here, and I'm going to go in the other direction like so. So, and again, taking the other strip of tape, right, putting it on here, and I am actually, in essence, going in the same direction. But now, the tape is actually going to be tensioned on the other way on the X. So, keeping my finger bent, I'm just gonna tape it around and bring it all the way around, right? And it just so happens now, my edge of the tape is on the top end of my finger, right? If it was on the bottom, say here, then all I'm gonna do is bring it out to the top, rip it, or take a pair of snips, cut it, and make sure that edge of the tape is on the top, because as soon as you start chalking up and your fingers start rubbing on those holds, the tape's gonna start coming off, and then all that taping would have gone, well, it'd be useless because it was just gone to waste. So, and then make sure that everything's nice and smooth, right? Press the tape down nice and tight, right? And then what you have now is a finger that's taped, right? I cannot fully straighten it, which protects my joint and lets me heal, but it lets me flex my finger like so that I can still hold on to stuff, right? And I can still climb. Of course, because there's tape there, you won't be able to climb to your fullest potential, but again, it will let you climb.